What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Texas League Weekly Video Podcast. We are going to have a very shortened recording this week, and then we are going to be on a 2-week hiatus because I will be traveling. We will continue to keep track of our individual picks. And when we come back, we will be able to take a look and see how the three of us are doing. This past week was not a good week for me, but before we get into that, let my co-host introduce himself.
It's the commish, and I'm leading my division. I'm feeling good about myself right now.
You should be, sir, because you are quite the opposite of where I am. So, speaking of the opposite of where I am, let's just go ahead and take a look at last week's scores and results. Okay, so as we can see last week, and I'm not going to dwell too much on my game, I predicted that both of us would go over our projections, but that I would win by, I don't remember if I said 5 points or 15 points. There was a five in there somewhere, but alas, it was not to be. And it's not that either one of our teams just really blew the doors off the water. I mean, we only had, between the two of us, we had one player that went over 20, and I had another player that went for 15, but his players were a little bit more consistent. So that keeps me in dead last place in the league, and it moves Super Mario Cristobal up to 4-5. We had a face-off with our commish facing another our reigning champion, Kirkwood, and I'll let you tell the people about the significance of this 53-point performance from CJ Stroud.
Uh, to make a long story short, I'm sure everybody in the league knows I am a Buccaneers fan. I was at the game here in Houston, me and Dwayne, and I got to watch CJ Stroud put up this 53-point performance live and in person. But the bright side, it did get me a fantasy W, so it wasn't all bad.
Right. But yeah, it was a back and forth game. And I don't think that I realized just how many points he was putting up until the start of the fourth quarter. And I was like, wait a minute, this dude's got 3 touchdown passes and is really doing something special. Uh,
That's because when he started putting up points in the second half, we were drinking, and so we might have missed it
yeah,
because we was at the bar. That's what it
that
was.
that that definitely could have contributed to it. But I would like to say that this was a little bit of a bittersweet moment for me because I remember Jared being at my house and watching Doug Martin run all over my Raiders and put up, and that went into fantasy lore. So it was kind of a sweet revenge to let him to be there to see him watch CJ Stroud return the favor to his Buccaneers in person. But I'm not that petty, so
Yes, you
congratulations on
know.
your victory. Congratulations on your victory. So next matchup was Two Boobs, Two Balls, and One Goal versus Muff Divers. So Muff Divers being on the win streak, as well as Two Boobs, Two Balls getting their first 2 victories of the season after starting the season out 0-6. They pulled out the close victory over Muff Divers to take their record up to 3-6 and stay ahead of me in the standings. Not too surprising because Two Boobs, Two Balls, One Goal is one of the top scoring teams in the league. Until the last 3 weeks, they had just been running into the unfortunate situation where the other top scoring team that week was the person they were facing. Um, like a lot of people who were disappointed from a fantasy standpoint in Lamar Jackson's performance and playing against a Seattle team that gave up 37 points, you would think that Lamar Jackson would have had a few more fantasy points. Like if you're Muff Divers, he needed to throw or run for 1 touchdown, and that swings this victory your way. But it was not meant to be. And again, real life over fantasy all day long. So I'm pretty sure Baltimore fans are happy about the victory, while us fantasy owners bemoaned the low point production from Lamar on Sunday. Next matchup, Big Burrow and Steele versus Company Man. Now, our Nate was our guest host, and tell us about that in his pick, Jared.
I initially went with Nate. Then some told me it's Patrick Mahomes versus the Dolphins. They're going to have a shootout. Nope. Should have stuck with my first mind. Nate gets the W because Patrick Mahomes has not been producing from a fantasy standpoint. Michael Thomas put up 0 points. Didn't help Company Man at all.
Not even a little bit.
I don't, Muff Divers can win with 0 in one of their spots. I don't think Company Man can do that.
Apparently not, because it definitely did not work out for him this week. So yeah, even with the terrible performance by Travis Kelce, again, I don't know what Taylor Swift's touring schedule is like right now, but I'm pretty sure Chiefs fans are ready for her to reappear after the Chiefs get past their bye week so that they can return to getting some production out of their all-world tight end. But congrats to Big Burrow and Steele. Our third co-host, Matt is King, pulling off the victory, riding the wave. And for the first time in a long time that I can remember in our league, Deuce is above 500. He beat out our friend, the shirtless wonder, Marcel, who fell to 6-3, but is still firmly in playoff position, although he fell out of his division lead spot. Yeah, I mean, great production. Even with Will Levis putting up a scant 8 points, he still had enough good overall
That's because his
production.
defense scored like a
Yes.
quarterback.
So I was going to ask you, what could the Chargers have done? I mean, what could the Jets have done to piss the Chargers off like that? 8 sacks, 3 fumbles, 3 forced fumbles recovered. That is a beatdown. That is personal.
I have no idea. That seems a little personal, but
And it's also a reminder that Zach Wilson is exactly who the Jets thought they were when they brought in Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers' injury did not change that. And last but not least, the Big Green is on a 4-game slide, but still hanging on to second place. Trust me, Big Green, I know how this losing streak feels because I've been losing exactly 1 game more than you. So I feel you. You have my sympathy. But yeah, this not a close game at all. I thought the Green might have a chance to get over it, but Dallas defense really let Philadelphia run all over them, and the Cleveland defense pitched a shutout. So there you have it.
Yeah. Technically, you do not have the longest losing streak in the league right now.
No, I know I don't. Two moves to ball with 0-6 to start the season. So
I mean, you don't have the longest current losing streak right now.
oh, who's got the longest current streak right now then?
That would be the Big Green, 4 in a row. You've lost 3 in a row. She's
Oh,
lost 4.
okay. I thought I lost 5. I was okay. I'm okay with that then. Well, I would prefer not to get to 4. So, especially considering the fact that our missing co-host is still leading our picks and percentages by going 4-2 last week. Jared has jumped in front of me because he went 2-4 because I had a perfect week, a la the Lions and the Jaguars. I went 0-6. So I had the perfect week the other way last week. So with that being said, let's jump right in to this week's picks. It is rivalry week. So these games all have a hint of a personal connection between the two opponents. So Jared, I'll let you start with picking this game.
Uh, I am gonna go with the shirtless one to get back in the win column.
That's fine. I wouldn't pick me either if I was you right now. I'm on a 3-game losing streak. My team is underperforming. Jordan Love does not remember how to play football, and the Rams quarterback Matt Stafford is so injured. They're bringing in Carson Wentz. The only way that you could prove that Matt Stafford was more in trouble was, if they were to sign uh, who was the
Matt
kid
Ryan.
that yeah, if they were to sign Matt Ryan. That's the only thing they could have done more at this point. So I'm still not picking against myself. So the
Well, of
personal
course.
connection in this game is that Marcel and I go way back. Our families are connected, and so we've known each other for well over 20 years. So it would be a great piece of bragging rights to beat him this weekend. So I don't know which one of my teams is going to step up and be my superhero, but I need somebody. All right. Second battle of the week is the battle of the co-hosts. Stairway to Evans versus Mathis King. These gentlemen go all the way back to their undergraduate days at K-State, where they were running wild and leading Bible studies on campus from the stories they've told me.
You know what? I would.
I'm pretty
That
sure
is,
this.
well, actually, we were actually as he got there as I was leaving. We actually are connected through a mutual ex roommate.
Okay.
We both went to K State, but I think he got there like a semester before I left, so I didn't actually meet him until later. We have
Okay.
a mutual ex roommate that we have spent many conversations making fun of.
Indeed, indeed. So if I know both of these gentlemen, they're both picking themselves.
Pretty
And
sure. I'm not. I
yeah,
refuse. I refuse to pick this man,
of course, there was
especially since he won. Especially since I need to send him some money for the high score. As we,
right, as he was one of the winners last week. So it comes down to me. What is the tiebreaker? And I'm gonna be honest with you. This one is close. Who do I think is going to be the breakout surprise? Oh man, I don't like Bryce Young right now. He's playing terribly, and it's a Thursday night game. Brandon Ayuk versus Jacksonville, Schultz versus the. I am going to go with Stairway to Heavens. Eckler versus Detroit. Detroit gives up points. St. Brown versus that Chargers secondary, which can definitely be beat. And we just saw what CJ Stroud did last week. I don't think that he's going to do that again, but I definitely think that he's going to produce. So my tiebreaker pick is Stairway to Evans. All right.
my man.
Jared, break this one down and tell us about the personal connection here.
I don't think there really is a personal collection. Some of these, they just got stuck together by default.
Fair enough.
They just kind of got stuck together by default. And this is one of those matchups that got stuck together by default. But looking at this, you know what? I'm going to go with two boobs, two balls, one goal. Personally, because I need them to win this week because Hangman Hernandez is in my division. He is also 5-4. So if he loses, it helps me out.
No matter what.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Plus, Josh Allen versus Denver. I still don't believe in that Denver defense.
Right.
They produced a little bit better, but I just don't predict that they just about to be a shutdown defense. Josh Allen needs to put some points up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Him and Dalton Kincaid. Put some points
Yeah.
up. Help me.
I mean, after a loss in a close game last week to Cincinnati, Josh Allen had something to prove. He had opportunities to win that game and came up a little bit short. So I think that even though Denver's coming off of a bye week and they're going to be rested and looking full and at home, I still think Josh Allen goes out. And I don't know if here's the thing. I don't know if the Bills will necessarily win the game, but I think that Josh Allen will put up some fantasy points. So I like two bulls, two balls in this matchup as well. Right. Beck, Burrow, and Steele versus Super Mario Crystal Ballin. Our sometimes fill-in co-host versus your cousin. Who you got in this one?
Uh, I am. Think it's going to be a close one, but I am going with Big, Burrow, and Steele.
All right.
It's a close one.
I'm gonna go
Just
with.
because, yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
looking at it. I'm going with Big, Burrow, and Steele, just because me and my cousin will be at the Minnesota versus New Orleans game, and I have a feeling that somebody from that game is going to blow up because we're going to be there live.
Okay.
And it's like, who I think is going to blow up more, the tight end or the running back? I'm gonna go with the running back.
Well, I'm gonna go with the tight end. I like Super Mario Crystal Ballin in this game. Again, games versus Detroit, points get put up one on both sides of the ball. So I like the Herbert Allen connection has been a good connection this year. Uh, so I like that, and I like Hawkinson to score some points. Look at what if Josh Dobbs could do that last week, with literally no practice, not even knowing the playbook, literally having to draw the plays up on the field and have the coach tell him his reads. What can you do with a weapon like Hawkinson with a week of prep? All right. So, company man versus Kirkwood. Jared, who you like?
Uh, this also looks like a close one, but I'm leaning towards company man because he's got Carr versus Minnesota, whose defense has been not great. It's been better lately, but still not great. He's also got Kamara. He's got Hopkins versus a trash Tampa Bay defense that we just watched get torched for 470 by a rookie quarterback, and they don't have any wide receivers as
back to
good as
back
Hopkins.
rookie quarterbacks for the Buccaneers defense.
Yeah, so
will we see the rookie passing record broken 2 weeks in a row?
I don't think they're gonna be that bad. But I can see Hopkins getting some catches though.
Indeed. McCaffrey is back. Musgrave's not going to do anything. Amari Cooper at Baltimore. Amari Cooper on the road, not great. Green Bay's defense, also not great, but also like company man for the same reason.
Kirkwood is carried by two people, and if both of them don't play, he tends not to have a great. It's Hurts and McCaffrey. If they both not there, he beatable, and Hurts is on bye.
Yeah. So there we have it. All right. And then our last matchup of the week is the husband and wife matchup. So, Jared, who you liking there? Oh, hold on. Big Green. We got to take a look at this here bench because your QB wide receiver combo is down, and you also got another running back issue.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's looking like Josh Dobbs is going to be the starting quarterback.
She's also got
Or
Geno
Geno
Smith.
Smith.
I gotta say, in this situation, I definitely would prefer Geno over Josh Dobbs in terms of the matchup, in terms of the pass rush.
Yeah. As it sits now, we're looking at Geno Smith in there. Peoples Jones in there, and yeah, it's just not looking promising for
Not
the
at
big
all.
green
Not at all.
unless there's some late changes. I'm you know yeah, I'm going with Muff Divers.
I'm also going to go Muff Divers. I think that this is going to be a bye week hail loss for the Big Green. There's just too many pieces missing to overcome in this particular situation. But all right. Well, those are our picks for this week. As I said, was a short week, so best of luck to everybody this week. And we will be back the last week of November. So happy Thanksgiving early to everyone. If you travel for the holidays, please be safe and enjoy your food and enjoy some good football. Talk to y'all soon.